Yes, hello again. Good to have you with us for another half an hour or so of shits and giggles. A bit like Big Bash cricket, but shorter. So much shorter. Let's introduce you to our teams. Leading the Bobsy Babes is Melissa Barbieri, who is so cocksure of her ability. She spends her spare time painting tasteful nudes. That is an actual website, by the way. I don't think it's got anything to do with Bobs, but there's clearly a very famous artist called Melissa Barbieri. Joining Bobs is Joey Lynch, and a little known fact about Joey is that he's a fan of Carlisle United. Now, Carlisle is a city renowned for its wet and cold climate and with a football team that's currently a bit crap, so a bit like Joey's hometown of Melbourne. Scott Jamieson is the skipper of the Jamo Tarts. Scott is back after missing last week due to playing commitments with Melbourne City, where they let slip a 2-goal lead to the Central Coast Mariners. Scott was asked this week just how far away City were from being title contenders. Yeah, about that much. Joining Jamo is Melbourne Victory's Angela Beard, who is only the 4th player in National League history to be named after facial hair, following in the footsteps of Tash Dowie, Jacob Sideburns and Mustache Ramini. And that joke brought to you courtesy of the 1970s. So welcome to our teams. Before we play for points though, let's kick off with a look at what has been making the news in football over the past 7 days. And we begin in the Premier League as former Mariner Matt Ryan makes an impressive Arsenal debut at Villa Park with a string of vital saves, sparking demands from Gooners everywhere for Mikel Arteta to now also loan Stefan Negro, Jack Clisby and Kai Rolls. And the A-League's Star Wars round has clearly reached the Premier League in the shape of West Ham Emperor Darth Moyes.
I don't want to get you in trouble, but what's the concern from you then?
Speaking of evil empires, undefeated Sydney FC thrashed the until then undefeated Canberra United 4-0 in the W League. It could have been even worse for the girls in green, but with no VAR, Remy Simpson's close call effort was denied, leaving Sydney FC fans to plead the case themselves. We will never tire of that, will we? And Craig Goodwin has returned to Adelaide United on loan from Saudi Pro League outfit Al Wada, the second local player in as many weeks to do so, sparking renewed interest in A-League from the Middle Eastern fans stunned by the quality of football on display. Ah, that's real commentary. Now, on to our first round. It is 4-4-2. We show one team a set of 4 pictures. That team can come up with any answer and they'll get a point if it's creative, even if it is totally wrong. If they don't spot the right answer, though, it could cost almost as much as tickets to watch Macarthur FC, because the other team will get a shot to steal the point. So let's get started. Bobsy Babes, you are on deck for our first set of 4. And here we have our very own team captains, Jamo and Bobs, as well as Massimo Luongo and Jenna McCormick. I will give you a free hint right off the top. It is not Massimo for being the only one who's not appeared on a game of halves so far. But where else might he like to have appeared?
I'm going to go with me, because I'm the only one that hasn't played any minutes for about 6 years.
I think you get a point for being creative there, Bobs, actually, but it's not the right answer. Joey, would you like to have a stab at it?
I do have one which I think is correct. So I'm not sure if it's the one you're looking for, and it's also quite mean in the sense that Scott Jamieson is the only one whose team hasn't won a championship. The others, AFLW, Asian Cup and numerous W League titles, have all lifted trophies.
Ooh. That's a very good dig at Scott, which obviously we like and rate. So we're going to give you an extra point for that. Unfortunately, it is not correct. So I'm going to give you one more clue as we throw it over to the Jamo Tarts. Massimo, of course, was in Russia 2018.
I would have said myself, Simon, because I'm the only one that looks like he's doing the toilet.
That is very true, actually. Any further advances on that? Angela, do you want to have a stab at it?
No, I'm a little bit lost at the moment. I'm trying to connect some dots, but
the jacks just don't fit. All right, let's have a look at the answer. It is actually our very own Bobs. because while all of them have represented their nation, she's the only one to get minutes at a World Cup. Massimo never made it off the bench in 2018, and Jamo, of course, remind me, did you watch that World Cup on the TV or from the stands?
No, I actually played in the Under-17 World Cup, so I guess you can count that as one.
Ooh. Do we give Jamo a point there for being spitefully right? Yes. I'm getting a thumbs up, Jamo. You're getting a point. For being vicious but correct.
I would have also accepted Scott Jamieson is the only one fortunate enough to have shared the field with legendary K-League defender Harrison Delbridge.
Also a good answer. Yeah, you're really trying for extra points, but I think we've given out enough.
I'm not going to get real points, so I might as well get extra ones.
Angie, before we move on, you split your time between Australia and Iceland, or certainly have done. Have the locals calmed down over there from back-to-back Euros and World Cup appearances? And how's your Viking clap?
I watched a couple games and they actually get really excited to score a goal, let alone make it to any tournaments. So I think the interest and the vibe and the culture over there is booming. So hopefully their record and their appearances at all these major tournaments increase as well.
Indeed. And the reference to the Viking clap was euphemistic, of course. OK, back to it. Jamo Tarts, you get to take the first shots on our next set. Let's have a look. Who have we got here? So we've got Sam Kerr, we've got Caitlin Ford, we've got Martin Boyle, and we've got Emily Van Egmond. They all can score a goal when you need it, but who's the jack in the box of this quartet, Jamo Tarts? Scott and Angela.
I'll have to say Martin Boyle. For two reasons.
And why?
The first reason being, he's not from Australia. He's actually Scottish, born and bred.
He does play for Australia, though.
Yeah, but he's not Australian. So let's just make that clear. And he was the first of the new generation of all the media campaigning for people who aren't born in Australia, but play for Australia.
You've clearly got a bit of a beef for people getting caps for Australia when they sound like they're from Glasgow. Do we give Scotty a point there for, again, being vindictive?
But he's wrong. Daniel Arzani was born in Iran.
That's true, actually.
Daniel knew of Australia before he was 22.
That is true. That is true.
He knows the anthem. Let's give him a chance.
Bob, do you know the anthem? Do you know all the verses?
Of the Australian anthem, yeah.
All the verses?
Just the two of them, yeah. All of the two.
We should get you to give us a rendition, but maybe not today. We're still searching for the right answer. It's not Martin Boyle, so we're going to throw it over to the Bubsy Babes. Any ideas?
They all scored on the weekend, except Emily, but she did score.
Yes, that is the correct answer. Point to the Bubsy Babes. All four of these stars scored at the weekend, but Emily Van Egmond was the only one to knock it into her own net for West Ham against Bristol City in the FA Women's Super League. Joey, before we move on, it's always awkward talking to a player in the mix zone after an own goal. What's the most uncomfortable conversation you've ever had with a player?
It's not personally one that I've had. It's more one that I've been in the room with, and it wasn't a player, it was a coach. Post 2017 A-League Grand Final, Ernie Merrick versus esteemed The Age journalist Michael Lynch, just feud reignited in the post game. And the room sat slowly back as the two engaged in a conversation about ethics in journalism.
I remember it well. I think I might have been at that press conference as well. That's a feud that's been going on for many, many years. I think they should sort it out in the ring. Who would win? You're into your fitness and your weightlifting and being strong, Joey. Who would win that particular bout, do you think?
Well, one of them will be quick to tell you about how they boxed for Middlesex back when they were 15. So I'm not sure what fight pedigree that the other has, but maybe in Scotland or, maybe breaking up fights in the training track, but everybody else would lose. Anybody that paid to watch would lose.
That's a good answer. I'm almost tempted to give you a point for that. At the end of that round, though, it is time to check in with our one writer who can actually count, Hayley Routley, to find out who's been knocking them into the top bins and who is smashing them into the stands. Hayley.
Well, Joey's on his way to another accolade to hopefully get him closer to that blue tick. We've got Bubsy Babes 3, leading Jamo Tarts 1.
Do you not have a blue tick yet, Joey, on your Twitter account?
No, that's dumb.
How dare they? Don't they know who you are?
Apparently not. Apparently I'm not worth knowing.
We'll have to sort that out. We'll get your dad to write a column about it. Now on to round 2. And this week it is the return of the Wheel of Misfortune. And just like an A-League game, we've got no idea what's going to happen next. Let's have a look at Carney Gallup's latest bit of spin. So we're playing for the shirt sponsor. We'll show you a selection of shirts and you just have to tell us if the sponsor is true or false. Pretty simple. First up, this classic shirt from the 1980s. Bobs and Joey, you are up first. An easy starter, we think. What is the club?
That's Man United, so that doesn't look familiar though. Is it, are we saying that it's false? The shirt box is wrong?
Yeah, the caption on the screen is the clue, Bobs. Is it true or is it false?
I'd definitely be saying that's false. Yeah.
It is false. We got there in the end. It is Manchester United from the 80s, but they were sponsored not by Swatch. They were sponsored by another company. Let's have a look. Oh, we don't have that. Minus point for the presenter. Fergie might have been a clock watcher, but the club back in the day were going through hard times rather than selling hardy masterpieces. I'm trying to remember who they were sponsored by in the 80s. Sharp, that's it. Right, on to video 2. Jamo and Angela, do you recognise the club shirt? And again, we want to know, is it true or false?
Well, I'll give Ange the opportunity to answer first. If she doesn't know, I may have a suitable guess.
I'm not sure. I still class myself as a tourist in Melbourne, so I'm not
All right.
down the little history.
I'm going to answer on behalf of the blue team and say that is definitely false.
What's the club, Jamo?
It's the Great South Melbourne.
It is indeed the Great South Melbourne, but have they ever been sponsored by the cable giant, the History Channel? Of course, the answer is no. That is a falsehood. The Lakeside Club may have booked their place in history by being controversially named the Oceania Club of the Century. Controversially? I didn't write that. But they have been strangely overlooked by the History Channel. Now, what about this one? Bobs and Joey, who's the club, first of all?
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina for me, and that's true.
That is,
for me, Joey.
that is true, and that is a beautiful kit.
It is a beautiful kit. Did they ever plug Nintendo? Yes, they did. You are correct. They made that switch, but they never did sign Super Mario Balotelli. Next up, Jamo and Angela. True or false? This one. What's the club, first of all? You should be able to get that one, Jamo. You played for them.
The Great Sydney FC.
Yeah. Were they ever sponsored by insurance company VAR? True or false?
That is definitely false. And I won't say anything smart because I play them very soon. So, no, I won't be saying anything smart. It's definitely false, though.
You are correct. There is no insurance company of that name. And despite the conspiracy theories of rival fans, the club is not in the pocket of big VAR. Deep state federations, however, yes, that might be a different story. I don't write this stuff. Bobs, Joey, this is your last one. True or false? The kit might be a bit of a tough one here. So any guesses on this one? And we will give you a clue. They are Mexican.
Club America.
Sponsor.
Americia.
You are correct, Joey. It is Mexican club side Club America. And what about the sponsor?
Doesn't look familiar, but I don't know Mexican.
I think this one's on you, Joey.
I'm inclined, just for the complete madness that is Latin American football in general, and Club America do enjoy a ostentatious kit, to lean towards it actually being true.
You are correct. Their bakery sponsor Bimbo, actually pronounced Bimbo. However, it did cause ructions in the US when Philadelphia Union tried to sign a sponsorship deal with the firm, and they got blasted by their fans for being sexist. And a few years later, of course, the same nation voted Donald Trump in as president. A last one for you, Angela and Jamo. Let's have a look at this one. First up, what is the name of the club?
It's a tough one. AC Milan.
It is AC Milan, but were they sponsored by Poo Jeans?
Do you think they were sponsored by Poo Jeans, Simon?
I can't tell you. I just asked the questions. Angela, have a stab. 50-50, you're going to be right.
Comparing mine and Jamo's Instagrams, I feel like he's more of the fashion guy of the team. I'm not 100% sure.
No, they were definitely not sponsored by Poo Jeans. They were definitely not sponsored by Poo Jeans.
Okay, you went 50-50 and you were wrong. Yes, they were. You'd hope it means something else in Italian, poo, which it does. It is, of course, caca in Italian. So they signed him as well. Poo on the shirt and caca in the shirt. Bellissimo. Which brings us, thankfully, to the end of this round before it slips any further. Hayley, we are walking and talking off the pitch. Who's crediting the boys and who needs to do the simple things a bit better?
Well, the Bubsy Babes have extended their lead slightly before half-time. They're up 9 points to Jamo Tarts 6.
Bubsy Babes back in the groove. Excellent. All to play for in the second half. Don't miss it. We'll be back after this short break. Well, you know the drill by now. Last week, more than 11,500 people saw the show, which is a new record total, and we're absolutely stoked with that. But we'd really love it if you could buy us a coffee at www.ago2h.com. Your support is vital if we are to continue. If you can't afford a coffee, then you can also help us by liking us on Facebook, giving us a yell on Twitter, subscribing to us on YouTube, following us on Instagram, and tagging your mates. Retweet, share, tag, follow, all that free stuff. The links are also on ago2h.com. And send us a message as well. We'd love to hear what you like and even what you don't like. But then you can still buy us a coffee too, if you can afford it. So go to ago2h.com and press that coffee button. Thank you. Next up, it is the segment that is fast requiring a ratings warning. On the headlines, where parts of the upcoming headlines are missing, like Euro snobs missing out on our beautiful Australian leagues. 1 point to the team who can fill in the missing words, and some bonus points for those who can come up with their own clickbait. And we're off. Our first headline is this: who has been red carded in Serbia and why? Any wrong guesses for me?
None in good taste.
Doesn't have to be in good taste, Joey.
I was going to say somebody wore the wrong flag or something like that. A very particular
Wrong flag.
Yeah.
Are you an expert in Balkan politics? Are you, Bobs?
I get the feeling that being in Melbourne, I'm more privy to a lot of this stuff. That's why we had to get rid of all our country names on our NPL teams.
Oh, well, there's a can of worms if we want to go there, but we don't. Any advances on that from either Joey or from either member of the Jamo Tarts? Here it is again.
Oh.
Simon, I might go with ref red carded in Serbia friendly for going to VAR.
Oh, if that were true. It is not true, unfortunately, but I think we're going to give you a point for being nice and creative. Should we give Bubs a point for that little bit of politics as well, or not? Yeah, why not?
She gave Joey a headline to write tomorrow on the ESPN channel, so yeah, certainly.
That's so true. Ange, don't be a shrinking violet. Come and give us your thoughts.
Can fans get red carded, or is that not a thing?
I think we'd like some fans to be red carded. I don't mind that answer either. Actually, that might get a point as well. Unfortunately, it's not the right answer. We are going to have to tell you what the right answer is. And it is this: A dog was red carded for repeatedly entering the pitch. Yes, Serbia's second-tier match with Radnički 1923 Kragujevac and Kolubara Lazarevac was interrupted 4 times by a pitch-invading pooch. His antics eventually saw him see red. Or did he? Because, of course, technically, dogs are colourblind. I didn't know. Mike Dean moonlighted in Serbia's second division. Let's move on to the next one. Football commentator loses what? Can't wait to hear your creative answers here. Bobs?
Oh, you always put me under the bus. Football commentator loses job at Fox Sports but excels at pre-show.
How did I know that was going to be aimed at me somehow? Anybody else? I might give you a point for that, Bobs.
Would it be football commentator loses shit, grows beard, takes up comedy and joins a metal band?
Equally good, also worth a point.
I've got one, Simon. I've got one,
Equally also
Simon.
about me. Yeah, and you've also turned the wrong way round somehow, Scotty, which is very interesting. There we go. You're back the right way up.
Apologies. Here we go. So, football commentator leaves commentating and goes to ARIA #1 with metal band.
Oh, if only that was true as well, then I could give up this nonsense.
Surely this kiss-assing gets points. Surely somewhere along the line the kiss-assing gets points.
Yeah, every bit of kiss-assing for me gets points all over the place. Hayley, you're going to have to need an abacus to keep up with all this.
Can I try a written one?
Real answer. Yes, go on, Bubs.
Football commentator loses voice in the middle of game?
No, that's not correct. It's a little bit more basic than that. Jobby is the answer over halftime toilet gaff. Bobby has lost his jobby after he announced he was late back on air for the second half of Hamilton Academical versus Ross County because he was basically having a quick dump.
Sorry about I hadn't pressed the button. I went away for a jobby at half time. Excuse my term of language, and I've not pressed the wee button on when I come back. So apologies to anybody who have not heard me this second half.
Yes, while some commentators may have verbal diarrhoea, myself accepted of course, Hamilton Accies boss got the shits with Bobby Bullock poo-pooing the Scottish slang and flushed the commentator's career at the club, doon the lavvy. Leading to the hashtag Jobbygate trending on Twitter. Perhaps try your luck here in Australia, Bobby. We literally hand out a toilet seat for our major trophy, and you can call your former team fucking dog shit on air and still turn up next week. And hey, at least Bullock used a toilet and didn't do it on the field at a World Cup.
I was very fortunate it rained that night, so I could do something about it, but it was messy. It just happened.
Yeah, it's not pleasant, is it? All right, let's move on to headline number 3. Why was Rory McArdle rushed to hospital? Anyone want to take a stab at this one? Joey?
Rory McArdle rushed to hospital with... trying to come up with a VAR gag, because I know that'll get me points. With aneurysm after VAR into 30th minute of deliberation.
It's very creative. I do like the creative answers on display here today. Maybe a point. We'll leave Hayley to be the judge of that. Any advance on that? Maybe for a right answer, Angela or Scott?
Give Angela the chance at this one, Simon.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking Rory McArdle rushed to hospital after some friendly fire and a goal celebration. Maybe a bit of head collision, maybe a head injury, something like that.
It is an injury, but it's not quite right. I think we're going to have to tell you the answer. The answer is because of a serious gash to his private parts. No, not a rash, a gash. The League Two defender was rushed to hospital following his match-winning goal for Exeter after a Stevenage stud sliced his nether regions and gave him a Prince Albert he didn't sign up for. Now, if these second-tier headlines aren't a better advertisement for adopting a national second division, then I don't know what is. Our final headline tonight, former Brisbane boss Fowler claims what? Let's hear your wrong answers first. Jamo.
Wow. Can't rule out playing in India one day, so I don't want to say something too naughty under Mr. Fowler. Former Brisbane boss Fowler claims Everton to win the league.
Oh, I don't think he'd say that, would he? But I like it. It's a point for, again, you're very acerbic tonight, Scotty.
Which I
love. Yes, go on, Bobs. Was it Bobs who said that? Sorry.
Yeah, Brisbane Roar, former Brisbane Roar boss Fowler claims he could play up front for Liverpool and actually score.
Might be right at the moment. Unfortunately, it's incorrect. There's the headline again. One last chance. Angela, Joey, do you have any advance on those?
Former Brisbane boss Fowler claims social media strategy, unmitigated success.
That's brilliant, Joey. That's a point as well. Unfortunately, it's not right. Angela, I'm going to give you the last crack at this to try and get it right. Any ideas?
I think former Brisbane boss Fowler claims, I don't know why I've got a good feeling about this, credit. I've already forgotten what I read just then. One shot.
You had one chance. You were 3 yards out, Angela, and you've ballooned it over the bar. The real answer is credit for Roar Revival. Yes, the former manager reckons Brisbane Roar, or Roost, as Joey famously renamed them, have him to thank for their winning start to the 2021 season, with his words falling foul of basically everyone except Nick Meredith. It turns out alienating fans, suing the club, demanding they pay for his ticket back to Australia during a global pandemic, and not playing current Roar Golden Boot leader Dylan Wenzel-Halls was a touch of managerial genius. Talking of geniuses, Hayley with full-time fast approaching, who's heading for the corner flag with the ball and who is cramping up?
Well, despite not a single right answer in that round, we have advanced. The Bubsy Babes are currently leading 14 points to the Jamo Tarts 10.
You need a big final round, Jamo Tarts. Thanks very much, Hayley. As we know only too well in the A-Leagues this season, anything can happen in the last moments of the game. So there's everything to play for in the final round. Squeaky bum time, 10 quickfire questions, 1 point for a correct answer, -1 for an incorrect answer, 2 bonus points for a hat-trick of correct questions. All got that? Clear as mud? Ready to go? Shout out your names if you know the answers, teams. Question 1. Alu Cool, the current cult hero of the A-League, is also currently joint leader of the Golden Boot race. How many goals has he scored so far?
Joey.
Yes, Joey.
5.
Correct. Point to the Bubsy Babes. Question 2. Sydney FC won against Wellington Phoenix on Monday, I think it was. Who scored both of their goals?
Ooh.
Joey.
Yes, Joey.
Costa Barbarouses.
Also correct, even with the elongated R. Another point to the Bubsy Babes. Question 3. In the W League, Melbourne Victory is bouncing back with a win against the Jets. Who scored a brace in that game?
And
Joey.
Yes, Ange.
Yes, Ange.
Melina Ayres.
Yes, Ange is on the board. Question 4. Still in the W League, Sydney FC ended Canberra United's undefeated streak with an impressive 4-0 win. True or false, the last time Sydney FC scored 4 or more goals was also against Canberra United?
Jamo.
Yes, Jamo.
True.
It is true. Sydney FC also won 4-0 against Canberra in January 2020. It's getting close. Question 5. Matty Ryan may have lost on his Arsenal debut, but his fine display is gaining him fans' approval. He's made the most saves in a match of any Arsenal goalkeeper this season. How many saves did he make on debut? We'll give you multiple choices. Is it A6, B7, C8 or D9?
Bubs.
Yes, Bobs.
6.
Incorrect. Throw it over to the Jamo Tarts.
Go on, Ange. Lead the team home.
7.
Correct. It is 7. On to question 6. Awa Mabil scored a 93rd minute winner for FC Midtjylland in the Danish Superliga. Who was it against? Tough one.
Joey.
Yes, Joey.
Stab in the dark. Randers.
Your stab in the dark has hit the mark. It is indeed Randers FC. Question 7. Manchester City is currently sitting pretty at the top of the Premier League table and currently breaking their own records of consecutive winning streaks in all competitions. What's the count after they defeated, that should say thrashed, Liverpool? Is it A, 12, B, 13, C, 14 or D, 15?
Gemmo.
Yes, Jamo.
12.
Incorrect. Throw it over to the Bobsy Babes.
Joey,
Yes, Joey.
is it 15?
Incorrect. Back to the Jamo Tarts. You've only got 2 left. Ange, come on. Give us the right answer.
14.
You are correct. It is 14. On to question 8. Liverpool, on the other hand, is on a 3-league game losing streak at Anfield. What decade did Liverpool last lose 3 league games at home? Was it the 50s, the 60s, the 90s, or the 00s, the 2000s?
90s. Gemmo.
Yes, Jamo.
2000s.
Incorrect. Over to the Bobsy Babes.
Oh.
Go on.
Joey,
Yes, Joey.
the 90s then. Well, no. What?
Incorrect. Incorrect. Back to the Jamo Tarts. You've got 2 left.
Go on, Ange.
The 80s.
No!
Still got 2.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. So, the Bobsy Babes.
I'll go 60s.
Yeah, well, that was the only one left, so that gets you the point. It was the 1960s, 1963 to be precise, which is extraordinary. Only 2 questions left. It's very tight. Question 9. The Club World Cup is also quietly happening right now. For 2 points, who are in the final?
Joey,
Who are the 2 teams? Yes, Joey, you just got him first.
I think Bayern Munich is one, and it's a Mexican club that's the other one.
Yep. What are they called?
It's not Club America, I don't think. But the
Right,
Club
it's
America.
not Club America.
Yeah. I don't know any other Mexican teams off the top of my head. Guadalajara.
No, incorrect. Let's throw it over to the Jamo Tarts. This could be crucial. He's got 1 point for Bayern Munich. Who are the other teams?
What chance do we have if a senior Australian reporter doesn't know what the Mexican team is, Simon? What chance have us 2 footballers got?
Well, this is the biggest football club competition in the world, and clearly nobody's taken any notice.
Funny you say that, Simon, because I've played in it. It was in a great tournament to be a part of. But let me think of this one now.
So you should know, Jamo.
Yeah, I played in it. It was over by the time I finished with it. Who cares about it? I'm going to say Pachuca FC.
Oh, it's a good guess. Unfortunately, it's incorrect. We're going to give the Bobsy Babes a chance. Bobs, any ideas? No Googling.
What's another Mexican city, Joey?
Tijuana.
I don't think you're going to get it, are you? And Ange, we're going to give you the last crack at this. Would you have any idea who that Mexican team is?
No, I'm terrible with team names.
Okay, the answer is Tigre. Tigre. You will always remember that. They were the CONCACAF Champions League winner for 2020. Actually, the first team from the CONCACAF region to qualify for the Club World Cup final. So it could all hinge on this. Question 10. Ryan Grant is shaving off his iconic mullet for charity in the World's Greatest Shave next week. But why did it almost cause an international incident at the 2019 Asian Cup? His mullet, that is. Yes, Bobs.
Don't they have like really strict laws on like hairstyles and stuff?
You are correct. He needed to get it approved by the AFC as his mullet was skirting the UAE's unusual hair policy. As if you have that. Thankfully, it was not deemed offensive and he got to keep it, or else half of Australia would have been banned from flying through Dubai as well. And the full-time whistle has blown. Hayley, who is tonight's Golden Boots and who are the Golden Butterfingers?
Well, it was a close one, Simon, but they've done it again. Bubsy Babes win with 15 points to Jamo Tarts 13.
I've been carried, Simon. This week I can't. Joey Lynch has me on his shoulders.
He sure does. Congratulations to Bobs and to Joey. Commiserations to Scott and to Angela. But thanks all for playing. Before we go, some of the latest headlines from around the world of football. Scott Jamieson reveals his post-career plans to go into the grooming industry. He's just revealed a new brand of hair gel.
Oh, no!
Yes.
Scott, what on earth? What on earth?
It's actually quite funny. Yeah, look, sometimes you just need to spit it out and put it in your hair. So that's why I shaved it.
That's why you had the buzzcock. The buzzcock? The
Oh,
buzzcock.
we've got COVID laws now, Jamo. Holy moly.
Hey, it was safety. There was distance between me and the next person. But try it one day, Bubs. Spit, slick. You're all ready to go.
Mate, I've done a bushman's hanky on accident before, but that goes next level.
Bushman's hanky.
What's a bushman's hanky?
I don't know, Simon.
Oh, yes.
That's by accident, though. It can happen.
I thought for a moment we were in something about Mary territory. Shithousery of the Week award goes to Allo Cool as he kindly flags down a bus for the departing Karen Stokes.
That's Karen Stokes done for the night. I was waiting to see who was
So you love that little nonchalant wave there. Oh, the arrogance of youth. The headline of the week goes to Sky Sports for this classic after Liverpool shipped 4 goals to Manchester City. Jeez, they're cruel. But of course, the Scottish Sun still holds the all-time record for the best headline ever. 20 years ago, when Inverness Caledonian Thistle defeated Celtic, and this especially for our Celtic supporting executive producer. That is absolutely brilliant. That's all for us tonight. Buy us a coffee, don't forget. Cheers. Good night.